ashes of oblivion, quick and unseen like the dragons of spring. For we owe no debts and bow to no king. Every war has its cost and we've paid, won by the bond of the body we've made. War with the dawn that the battle starts now. As the demons listen, we strike them down, fighting back the rifts of blood. Sent from the sky like an angel in need, give them news to strengthen and words to heed. Heaven's bells are set alight, we're knocking on the gates of hell tonight. Broken swords and dragons' bones scattered on the way back home, beating to the sound of flashing steel. When the road our heels down, shut the tales and legends stone, strengthened by the hymns of old, weathered as this fighting from his throne, so we sing a traveler's song. Play out a spell in your sequence of chords to inspire and sharpen our rusted swords, echoing the whisper of the trees. Creep along a path where 1,000 bards fail, from the thick Western jungle trails. Come from afar to set prisoners free, to dark tangled depths from the open sea. Swords and dragons' bones scattered all the way back home, beating to the sound of flashing steel. When the road our heels down, shut the tales and legends told, strengthened by the hymns of old, weathered as this fighting from his throne, so we sing a traveler's song. Chances don't come cheap, so keep alert and on your feet. An ancient spirit song will heal our wounds, unabashed by our defeat. Spot the bloodstains on these cobble streets, a message to the gods to see us through. Ever heard get really sung, to raise your voice and praise the sun. Call a new rebirth to keep us strong. Countless souls along the path, lost to fiends and lost to breath, will return to play our final song.
Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. So happy to have you all. And for those of you in voice chat, we are unmuted.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody, to another exciting episode of Eberron, Ashes of the Last War. I am, of course, Obsidia, everybody's favorite Death Knight, and the lovable DM and writer of this campaign. I'm so happy you've decided to join us for episode 7 of this campaign, where we begin their second quest, Riders on the Storm. And with that being said, we're going to go through introductions and announcements, and then we'll get started with a recap. So I think we're going to bounce it over, as is tradition, with Kitty number 1, the page.
When I'm not playing a wizard cat girl, I am Yulia, the elven princess knight, both on Twitch and Twitter as Royal Knight VT. Play a lot of JRPGs, play a lot of Skyrim, doing a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, so very happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Always happy to have you here, Yulia. And next, our constant kitty knight. Hello, Cess.
Hi, I'm Sess, or Sif, don't worry about it. When I'm not a cat girl, I'm a knight, live in suit of armor, I do art, I play games, I'm working on a shush hidden model for next Tuesday, very excited, very excited. Anyways, hi.
Yo?
I'm still in the sketching phase, it's really hard to make things seem 3D when there's literally 0 features.
Imagine being that talented.
Imagine imagination. Just tell your viewers it's a theater of the mind model.
There you go.
I can't. I'm not strong
you gotta
enough.
close your eyes and witness it.
Thank you, Sif. Next up is Litro, otherwise known as Kliff, otherwise known as Paint, otherwise known as Nobody, otherwise known as Litro.
Hi, I'm Litro the Bronze. I am one quarter dragon. I like to play RPGs and D&D. If you like D&D, feel free to stop by my channel, usually on Fridays or Sundays. I usually play D&D on those nights, and I'm going to try and start playing more RPGs over the week now that I am in my new job. Yeah, that's it. Wonderful,
wonderful. You'd love to see it. Definitely go check out Litro. Litro runs several campaigns for literally every member of the screen you see right now. So be sure to check them out.
Thank you, Litro.
Thanks, Litro.
And then force that out of you.
Last but certainly not least, Mari.
Hello, everyone. I'm Maribelle, and when I'm not a smoking hot pink tiefling, I am a Hobbit VTuber, and we like to do comfy, cozy streams. So we read books, we write, we craft, we occasionally cook in my kitchen, we sometimes play games. It's just a nice, chill time. Except for right now, because we're reading Jurassic Park, so we're reading about dinosaurs eating people. Stop on by!
See, you were inaccurate there. You should have said when you're not a super hot tiefling, you're a super hot hobbit.
This is true.
Got those, those grandma vibes, otherwise known as GILF vibes.
GILF vibes.
Well, we can definitely note that.
Obsidia really suppressing the gay over here.
I can never suppress the gay. Today is a grand old gay day.
It is a very gay day. Congratulations.
Mari, I can't wait for you to get to the river scene in the book, by the way. I'm waiting for your next stream.
Excited.
So be sure to come by, check out Mari for all of your GILF needs.
Oh my god.
So, for announcements, nothing really. This is, of course, our first day going forward of doing Monday Ashes of the Last War streams. So this will be the norm going forward, assuming nothing happens. Additionally, I have people have expressed interest in hearing me do some voice work. So in the future, one of the things that was hotly demanded was Lily the Goblin reads bedtime stories. So stay tuned for that in the future. I will do some Lily reading bedtime stories. I think the first one I'm gonna do is Go the Fuck to Sleep.
A classic.
That'll be a very apt choice in this already overcrowded house.
Correct. But yeah, and so aside from that, hopefully by next session, I will have the artwork for Raiden and Yen done. I commissioned an artist to do it. He gave me the initial sketch of it, which is amazing. So I hope to be able to flash her on screen, much like the wonderful picture brought to you by Mommy Mana of Big Old Snake Mommy. What? Lady Crowtrixia by Mommy Mana, otherwise known as Luna. Be sure to check her out. She brings you such things as Snake Mom and many other great art pieces. So be sure to enjoy it.
Yes.
I had a
Snake mommy, snake mommy, snake mommy.
And thank you for the goose raid, Sky. Welcome. So happy to have you. And all of your lovely raiders. We are just getting ready to do the session recap. I hope that you are having a wonderful night, and thank you all for the follows. So previously on Eberron, Ashes of the Last War, our party found themselves engaging in a fabulous dinner night with none other than the Lamia Mommy, Lady Cryotrixia, and her daughter Cleotrixia. They enjoyed delicious food as they made small talk, and things got a little dark at the mention of Lady Cryotrixia's prior husband, i.e. her life-bonded mate, who, as was revealed later, actually died during the War of Independence that Drome waged against Brayland. And she is quite sad about that experience, but she reiterated the importance of love, family, and that no war is worth fighting when it could be meaning more for you to actually defend the things that matter for you, the things you love, and the things that keep you going. This then continued with the Kliff / Paint / Nobody, everybody's favorite pink-haired currently chief changeling, who was confronted by the fact that Cryotrixia could see through his or whatever form that they chose, which was revealed because she can taste the air and she could taste them, and they all taste the same no matter what form they're in. And this was quite unsettling for our poor little changeling, but they managed to make sure that it was keep the secret under wraps. They then went outside where they met their new servant, Laoli Wei, otherwise known as Lili, a little goblin maid, who showed them to their new house that they started moving into. They started settling in with the then Paint and Jubilee actually starting to paint one of the walls of their room. Unfortunately, later that night, Paint was racked with nightmares by their warlock patron, Kliff, who is also the identity that they assume most of the time. And Kliff made it very clear that Paint's identity of trying to be somebody other than Kliff would not be tolerated going forward. And so accordingly, Kliff had a bit of an emotional breakdown, or Paint had an emotional breakdown, and has now assumed once more the identity of Kliff. The next morning, as a discussion around making breakfast in the nature of unpaid servitude was discussed with Lili between Cess and Paige, they were confronted with the door knocking, and none other than the incredibly ornery, battle-scarred hobgoblin priestess of the Silver Flame, Raiden Yen, who also was in tow with 3 people that were quite familiar to Jubilee. Specifically, it was Jubilee's sister Magnolia, who is one of her retainers, a tall tiefling woman, as well as 2 very tall Amazonian maids in the form of a wood elf named Shavira and a tall half-orc woman named Nezka. And as they began to get settled into the house in what appeared to be a very much more involved breakfast than was originally planned, the party was reconvening with all the new faces and trying to figure out the logistics of where to fit all of these new people in their new house. Accordingly, we will pick up with the breakfast talk. So after Kliff emerges from the basement, seemingly playing it off as if there is nothing odd about their change of identity and change of appearance, you are greeted with the sight of a veritable mob of people gathered around the breakfast table, trying to set things up, other people cleaning. Lili eventually darts away from the kitchen, leaving Shavira and Nezka to carry on with the cleaning as she goes downstairs very much avoiding Kliff whenever possible, and comes back up with some cushions, which she sets up around the coffee table, which she drags from the living room into the dining room. And then she starts frantically shooing all of the assembled people to gather around the dinner table with as many chairs as she can find. And then she puts down some cushions around the coffee table, where she then directs Shavira, Nezka, and herself to sit.
They have a kitty table.
Oh my
Hey,
god.
The cat table is the best table. Okay.
And with that, we'll play music. But yeah, so as people are sitting down, Rain and Yen basically sets up shop at the head of the dinner table, and as Lily is passing out food plates to everybody in cups of coffee or tea, Rain and Yen just starts digging into the food like she don't care.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Lily.
Of course, Master D. Orien. Whatever you say.
And she looks very kind of concerned at Kliff.
I think that's a bit too formal, right? I mean, Kliff?
I mean, I am a D. Orien. It is to be addressed as such, don't you think?
I mean, this is how you and Jubilee treat all your servants. You sort of talk down to them.
I suppose, Lily, if you wish, you can always call me Kliff.
She looks very conflicted right now, and she goes,
I think I'll stick with Lord Dorian right now, in case names change in the future.
That is fine. Good for
Yes,
you, Lily.
whatever makes you most comfortable, Lily.
Okay.
When Lily says names change, I'm going to quickly look at the retainers as well as Jubilee's sister to see if they caught that.
Magnolia seems to be very much consumed by looking at this quaint, homely little breakfast arrayed before her, as she sees that there are only one fork, one spoon, one knife in front of her. Very disappointed. And Shavira and Nezka are currently helping Lily pass out the various plates. And then they're going to go sit down at the coffee table and just, start eating. They don't seem to be notice anything untoward about this.
You see, Magnolia, those of the lower class have actually done something revolutionary of combining several silverware into a single piece. Thus, there was only one fork. I've even heard that some people only have one utensil called a spork. Most fascinating.
You know, Kliff, that a sign of noble bearing is the ability to appraise the various utensils put before you to maximize the efficiency of their usage. And just because you use less doesn't mean you use them better.
Magnolia, I was hoping you would be more cultured as to learn from the others.
Oh, I'm doing my best here to make myself at home. As she looks at Jubilee.
Yes, try not to suffer too much from culture clash.
What are we eating for breakfast?
It is going
You
to
cooked it.
No, Lily cooked it.
Yeah, it's
I
gonna...
couldn't touch it.
She made some eggs, some bacon, as well as some biscuits, and some potatoes O'Brien.
I'm getting a bunch of biscuits with the extra dab of honey on all of them.
Says efficiency, huh? And she takes the one fork and jams her, like, every piece of food on that one plate on one fork. She eats it in one bite and just looks at Magnolia.
Magnolia looks vaguely horrified at this prospect.
And then I toss some bacon on Litro's plate before taking my own plate back to the kitchen.
Kliff, you think you might want to take it easy on the honey?
You know me. I have a weakness for sweets.
It's a part of his
Right.
charm.
Right. Just think about your teeth once in a while.
Brush them every day.
Actually, honey ain't that bad for your teeth. That's why most commoners prefer it to sugar. You don't exactly have the wealth to be paying for dental, she says from the kitchen.
Oh, if you would like sugar, I could go get some. It's not very
Nope.
common here, but, I'm
No,
always happy.
We're good. We're good. Thank you, Lily. Thank you.
Oh, okay, Lady Ravelot, whatever you say.
Paige is just staring at her food and just eating, like, very quietly. Her tail is, like, poofed.
As Ray is just like, basically, she's doing the pose of she has one hand, like, each arm is encircling her plate as she, like, is hunched over, shoveling it into her mouth. She only chews on one side of her mouth, you do notice, because Ray's half of her face is peeled away from burn scars. So she only eats on the side that still has the majority of the cheek skin involved.
Ooh.
And you see her one crystalline eye, as well as her almost beady red eye, kind of narrows. She looks at all of you and goes, "Well, I bet you were probably wondering. I bet you're probably wondering why I even bothered coming here today."
I assume it's not for the breakfast, as I toss the bacon that Seth gave me onto her plate.
She skewers it with her fork is the best way to describe it. As she then pulls it into her defensive perimeter she has established around her plate. She goes, "No, I did not expect breakfast, but it is of course appreciated. Thank you very much for the breakfast."
Well, thank Lily. She's the one who prepared it.
Lily looks very smug at Ray, which is something surprising because you've never, in the one day you've known her, you've never seen her make a smug expression, and B, the fact that it's a little goblin being smug to a big hobgoblin lady.
We are rather curious, of course. What brings you here?
And she quickly shoves the bacon in her mouth and chews rapidly, swallows, then guzzles down half her cup of coffee. And she goes, "Well, I would assume you'd be interested to hear in what I learned after your debacle at the warehouse."
Yes, yes, some follow-up would be appreciated.
Well, good, because luckily enough for you, one of those terrorists actually managed to survive. Apparently he was unconscious when the fire started raging. He was horribly burned by the end of it, but I was able to at least recover him, and through the blessings of the flame, keep him coherent and stable enough to answer my questions.
I did try to drug him out, but it can be very difficult when both of your arms are full of, monster children you are trying to save.
She shrugs and kind of does a dismissive gesture. It goes, "It is more than he deserved. I'm actually quite familiar with the organization that he and his ilk are a part of."
Care to explain then?
Yes, well, apparently they were a cell of a heretical, and I would like to clearly reiterate, absolutely hunted down sect of the Silver Flame, known as the Seekers of the Flame. They are absolute apostates who believe in the corruption of the Holy Church, as well as they think that the Keeper of the Flame is a hoax, and they follow some kind of false prophet known as the Seeker. And For what would be particularly of interest to you all is they adhere to the old ways of the church and don't understand the new and bright line progress that we have achieved.
Oh, so our first guest actually wasn't too far off. Turns out all the investigation wasn't for nothing, and we aren't complete morons.
Well, let's not speak too quickly. As she gets a
Would you
very...
like me to slow down like this, then?
She gives you... Whoops, sorry.
I bap Kliff on the top of his head and put more bacon on his plate.
I toss it back to our guest.
I'm gonna interfere. We made a deal, right? You need healthier. Anyway, sorry, Ray. Go ahead.
She grunts and goes, "Yes, you should listen to somebody more mature than yourself. As I was saying, they had apparently been infiltrating Greywall and were intending to abscond with these various local children in order to assist their diabolical plots of manipulation, subversion, and interrogation. Apparently all of these people that they had been taking are a part of monstrous races that have powers to either delude, intoxicate, or charm people that come into contact with them. Whether that be the Lamia's intoxicating touch, the Dryad's fey persuasion, the Harpy's siren song, or the Fairy Dragon's intoxicating breath. They apparently were seeking to traffic them and then abuse them and indoctrinate them to follow their decrees to assist them in whatever malign purposes that they intended for them.
With such a power, can you speculate what they were trying to intend to do?
I cannot wrap my head around the thought processes of traitors and heretics. From what I would gather, they would continue with what they've always done. Massacres, torturing of civilians, terrorist attacks, and sabotage as they further their plan to try and destabilize our church and take it over for whatever ungodly and unholy purposes that they truly have in their blasphemous hearts.
Well, good thing we put a stop to it then, right?
Or at least that small group.
Indeed. I have noted your involvement in this and the wonderful work you did in trying to stop these people. Not only did you avert the crisis in this flame-forsaken city, you at least managed to preserve their lives and not lead them into the unholy traps that those things had in store for them. So you should all be very proud of yourselves.
Lack of pride is definitely not one of my weaknesses.
I don't know how to react, but thank you for the compliment. It was a compliment, right?
She moves her hand in another dismissive gesture, and she goes, "Please, I don't seek to flatter you all. I simply seek to tell you what you've accomplished. Hopefully in the future, you can proceed to be a little less destructive in your attempts to save lives. Or maybe next time I wouldn't be able to save these people, and that would be another person on your conscience, because you would have to live every day knowing that you don't even know why these people were taken."
We're deeply sorry, but our friend Jubilee here has a bit of a short fuse.
That's not the...
I put my hand on Jubilee's shoulder and speak up. I believe what Kliff is trying to say is we're thankful for your help in a situation we could not avoid. We weren't aware of the dangers in that warehouse, and personally, I think it's kind of crazy for them to keep fragile hostages in a building that can light up with just a match. But, yeah, no, we appreciate what you've done, Ray, really.
Well, apparently, they didn't intend to be discovered. Their plan was to plant that alchemist fire across portions of the city to create massive destruction to further exacerbate the issues between the locals and the people of the kingdoms.
But we're not aware of any more remnants that are lingering, at least in Greywall, are we?
Not that I'm aware of, but I, of course, handed the prisoner off to Chief Inspector Kranzahar for further investigation by House Thrash. If there's other people at work here, I'm sure she'll find them.
I think so too. We can at least be grateful we did something good here today, or previously.
Let us hope she is not too overworked. And have at least bought a finely cabinet by now.
Well, thank you so much for giving us that update. It really puts us at ease.
Good. I'm glad that my words can put your little minds at ease. It is, of course, the purpose of the flame to always heal the wounds of the afflicted, bring sanctuary to those in need, and to help those with troubled minds. If you ever need more love, affection, and protection, you know where to find me. And she finishes scarfing down her food and slams her coffee mug empty on the table.
Oh gosh.
Is she leaving, or is she
Yeah,
just
she's
sitting
about to
there
stand up.
now? Okay.
Well-
Ray, one more thing before you head out. How has church community been going for you?
Kind of narrows her
When-
eyes at you, like, what the fuck, where is this coming from? And she goes, what do you even mean, church community?
So, like, at a church, there's supposed to be people, right? How is that going? Do you have, like, a dedicated day of the week where people come, or something else entirely? I'm sorry, I'm used to the churches from the Sovereign Host, so I'm not really familiar with what you and the Silver Flame do.
Well, the Silver Flame isn't very popular around here, so there aren't very many people who come see me, period. Prior to this whole incident with the locals, I used to go every Friday into the local part of Greywall, and I would try and feed any who need it and heal any who require it, but they're always under the watchful gaze of Hecate and her followers. But at least if I can help any of these godless heathens, then I would say I'm doing something good.
Okay, noted. Are you doing that again this week, or you just stopped doing it because of the recent transgressions?
Kind of pauses for a second, looking at you kind of side-eyed through her flesh eye, and goes, well, Captain Venomspite did release the bar from my entry into the city, as you can see, so I will of course be picking up where I left off. The flame doesn't have me here to simply sit idle practicing my holy maneuvers.
What day of the week are you planning on doing it? Unless this is like a daily thing for you.
She looks at you just kind of like, are you not fucking listening to me? She goes, I said Fridays! I will do it Friday!
Apologies. I was more so focused on Venomspite giving you that permission. It kinda is unfortunate you're having to deal with them.
It is the burden I bear, the darkness that the flame has put me before, so I may light my path.
Okay, see you Friday then.
Kind of looks confused at you. It goes, if you feel the desire to come, there will always be sanctuary. Now, I have important things to take care of. Please don't burn down this part of the city as well. And she will slam the door behind
Give us
her.
a few weeks. Alright, take care.
As she leaves, Kliff just goes, Many would say that the holy clerics have voices of soft silk beauty. Her voice is much more like an iron club.
At least she says what she means.
What is the fun in that?
Sets, are you really planning on attending on Friday?
I don't know. It's not like we have any churches of Boldre out here.
That's true, and I guess it wouldn't harm to help out a little in the community, since, this is our home now, or at least temporary.
I
Well,
want to make sure
whatever.
I, getting good with the locals. Maybe get some nice deals on those jerky chips.
It's a good idea. I'm done eating. Kliff, Jubilee, are you finished? I can help take your plates for you.
Oh no, I can take care of that.
Oh no, Lily, it's all right. I can help.
Lily kind of tries to puts her hands on the table to lift herself off of her little cushion for her little coffee table, and stands up and goes,
No, of course not, Lady Page. I can handle this.
At least let me carry some to the kitchen with you.
Well, I think this is more of their job. Isn't that right, ladies?
as she looks up with her hands on her hips at Shavira and Nezca.
I was here first. That means you gotta listen to me.
I say in Goblin to Lily, doing a very good job. You are now the head maid of the house. Congratulations.
She smug aura intensifies. And you see Nezca and Shavira look between each other, then look at you, Jubilee.
Not exactly what I had planned for the two of you, but during downtime, there's not really much to be done. It's up to you.
If that is what you say, Lady Ravamont, we will take care of it. And Nezca and Shavira stand up, and Lily directs them to start picking things up. Things she can't really see from where she is on the ground, but she makes gestures to the various places in front of you guys for them to pick it up.
Speaking of which, you all will need accommodations now. I don't believe I wish to have the basement room anymore, so I suppose that could be yours.
Maybe Jubilee, Page, and I could clean out your room. Just, us three. Fixing it. And we'll
Oh,
let
that's
you
very
catch
kind of
up
you.
with Magnolia, yeah?
Oh, that's very kind of you. I appreciate it.
Clean his room? Huh?
Says, sort of like side glances at like Paige and Jubilee, very like nervously.
Oh.
Did you not like the decor?
I just believe someone of my standing deserves a higher room.
Right. Well, that'll keep us busy this morning.
I don't presume to think you want me involved in any of that, of course.
Oh no, Magnolia, you have plenty of other chores to do. Remember what I said about spit shining on my boots? You can get started.
You can't be serious, Juby.
Don't worry, Magnolia. I will be here to keep you company.
Well, I guess if I have company. A little smug smile as she looks at Jubilee.
Right. I think I'll have my second cup of coffee downstairs while I work, so if you'll excuse me.
You do a good job there, Juby. I'll be sure to take care of all your things up here.
I'm sure you will. You behave, Magnolia.
Oh, you know me. I'm such a good girl, Juby.
Mm-hmm.
Says almost like spits up a hairball hearing that.
Okay, yeah, sure, let's go help.
Lily, can I get a refill of my coffee before I go downstairs?
Oh, of course, Lady Ravelot.
Thank you.
Please, ladies, please step away from the coffee.
She like kind of taps Shavira's leg and makes her stand to the side as she then, takes out a little stool to get on top of it to pour another cup of coffee. And then she puts the stool away and scampers over to you and hands you the cup of coffee.
Thank you very much. And I'll start to head downstairs.
Of course, Lady Ravelot. Just feel free to shout if you need anything.
Will do.
All right, now these plates won't clean themselves.
Says is actively blocking the door to Paint's room as we go down. Gonna look over at Paige and Jubilee and says, all right, listen. So, what was in here scared the shit out of Lily. And what was in here definitely unnerved me. Now, I threw some paint on it to cover it up, kind of, but you can still make it out. It's real. I'm just... Please steel yourselves. You too good?
Didn't think my paint job was that bad.
Right, I'm confused. What is happening? What's going on with Kliff?
Well,
all right, by all means, Jubilee, if you'd like.
Well, she's gonna peer over her shoulder just to make sure they are not within earshot of Kliff and Magnolia, and just... Last night, I said to Kliff that I understand the difficult circumstances that they come from, so if they made the decision to continue living as Kliff, I would understand. So...
Okay, so, you mean like him choosing to be like that, right?
Yes.
So, I don't understand how any of that face shit works or what's going on in his head, but, something tells me there's a little more going on. I'm going to open the door triumphantly and hope that, that godforsaken mess on the wall is still there.
Yeah. The black smeared wall with your recent black splotch across it is still there.
What little is left, you can still make out what looks to be paint crying at the bottom of a well as it fills up with rocks and stones.
Is this what you two did last night?
No. No, it was nothing like this. He was painting like sceneries and crummy looking owlbears. No, nothing like this.
Something I'd like to do more research on. I've never really encountered anything like this before. But you mentioned, well, he has that child, the real Kliff. Could Kliff have done something like this?
No idea. mean, he says that Kliff is still with him, but, I mean, I was very young at the time that I knew Kliff. Real Kliff, I suppose. And he may have been a bratty little child, but this is menacing. I don't know if I find it hard to believe that he would do something like this, but I don't know.
Yeah, there's still too many unknown factors. But I assume that we'll observe him closely, at least now that he's with us, but this is certainly something strange. Would I, through my schooling, have any sort of knowledge when it comes to warlocks or
Yeah.
their patrons?
Make an Arcana check.
Okay. 16.
Okay. You know that warlock patrons are a thing. Unlike you, who is able to learn how to do magic, apparently warlocks are generally frowned upon by most magical society as basically a cheat code of sugar babies with no real talent. Because they make deals with various powers in order to gain a fraction of magical might because of it. But unlike, a wizard, for instance, the warlock patron has an active interest in the person they've given powers to. And depending on how intimate a connection it is, a patron can be quite present to a given warlock. You know that there are lots of different types of patrons. You don't really know what's the fundamental difference between them, but people have there's fiends that people make deals with, there's fey entities people make deals with, there's dragons, liches, etc. It's a whole swath of people. That's any sufficiently magical entity can be able to give powers to basically anyone. But because their powers come from a specific entity, that entity has a lot of say in what that person does. So that's kind of the gist of what you know with a 16.
Okay. I can't really say for certain, but given the current factors, it might be something a little otherworldly. A patron, perhaps? I don't know how a child could possibly be linked to it, but I think it...
I mean, Kliff had magic, but he wasn't. I mean, he was a kid. He wasn't some mystical being.
Oh, but he's certainly been able to grow over time, correct? Assuming, nobody, Kliff, has powers as well. I mean, anything is truly possible, but I can't say for certain whether it's correct or not. I still know too little, but I have my suspicions. But hopefully, whatever is inside Kliff, paint, isn't bad or evil. It could possibly be, but in considering this wall, I don't think it's a good thing.
One day at a time, I
Right.
suppose.
Yes, I'll make sure to do some research. I want to find a way to help him.
That's real good of you, Paige.
I mean, new friends, right? we're gonna travel together, we should work towards our best interests. Which includes trying to fix this wall. So,
Since Cess has been quiet while you guys are talking, she's just been painting over it with the black paint.
It'll be okay.
Oh, it's going to be so uneven.
Listen, if you got a problem with it, get your blue head down here and do it yourself.
This is me talking, not any of my characters.
Yeah, well, I know paint would think this. Angles are hard.
It's okay. I'll help.
Well, I suppose, our numbers are growing a lot quicker than I thought they would. I guess, if you two don't mind, my gals, they can stay down here, and I do have the biggest room right now. You two can... the three of us could share a room?
You think your sister would mind us being in the same room?
There's a lot of things she does mind. She can get over it.
Right, if you say so. In the meanwhile, we, hopefully after the next job, which I also hope is soon, we, might need to see about expanding this house early.
I think so.
Maybe a nice little shed, training area. Have you heard of this thing called jacuzzis?
I think they're referred to as jacuzzis?
Yeah, those sound nice. I don't know what they are, but it's a nice name. It's got to be good, yeah?
Well, you think about it like a bath, and the water is just flowing the whole time, like you're in a very aggressive river, and it's very comforting. It's nice.
Aggressive river and comforting. I wouldn't normally put those two together.
Yeah, it's like it's a constant stream of water pressure. It's good for your back. It's nice.
Oh. Sounds nice, it does.
Yeah, we'll get us one of those.
Maybe expand the garden a little bit? I'd like that.
Some homegrown veggies for breakfast.
Okay. She's gonna walk over and start to help Cess out with the painting.
Kliff
I finish my coffee first, and then I join.
Alright, so as you guys paint, to put it in context, we are going to do a series of vignettes to represent some various, rather than play out every single day, as much as we all love the slice of life experience of Ashes: The Last War. So I talked to the players ahead of time, and so they've outlined some particular interactions they want to have happen over the next week of in-game time to lead up to the issuing of their next quest. And conveniently enough, one of those did involve Kliff talking to Magnolia. So, we'll jump to that for a bit just to knock it out of the way because it's already naturally set up with the two of them being present. And then we've got a particular vignette involving Cess, Paige, and Jubilee together. So, without further ado, Kliff, you are with Magnolia as the servants are cleaning dishes and everyone else went down to your room to repaint it and check it out. And Magnolia is just kind of giving you a little smirky smile.
Magnolia, how long have we known each other?
Oh, it's been a long time, ever since we were kids. Ever since I used to tag along behind Jubilee, as she would hang out with you guys. But, I ain't a child anymore. I want you to know that real clear, Kliff.
Oh, I can see that. I am sad to say this, though, but me and Jubilee haven't been as close lately as we used to be. You see, she tried to take something of mine quite recently.
Really? That doesn't sound like Juby. He doesn't normally take anything from anyone except for shit from, Daddy.
Yes. Well, I do not know if she intended to take it or not, but nonetheless, it was attempted.
Well,
I may have to pull some higher pranks on her later as revenge.
well, I know you always love playing pranks on her, and I'm always happy to knock Juby down a few pegs. She thinks just 'cause she's oldest that somehow she better than everybody else, but I'm more than happy to bring her down to the level that her height actually deserves. No fancy calls.
Well, of course. And that is excellent news. Magnolia, if you could tell me just what might be some of the perfect pranks to play on her, I would so enjoy. Tell me, what does she most hate?
Well, I think probably the thing she most hates is anything happening to any of her nice clothes or her big fluffy hair. I know she puts so much work in that when she ain't working that if anything were to happen to them, oh man, her face would be all kinds of red.
I am already getting ideas.
Oh, please feel free to include me.
Perhaps.
What have you been up to? It's been years since we've seen. I see you grew up real good.
Oh, I thank you. I have been working for my family, of course, doing jobs for them and helping grow their influence. Quite recently, I've had some trouble here. Like I said before, something that was mine was almost taken from me, but I have gotten it back.
I'm happy to hear things are going well, even if you have to slum it in this place.
If anything, I think it is making me stronger.
I don't understand that, but if it works for you, I know that you Orien types are cut from a different cloth.
Well, I appreciate that. The might of the Oriens is on my shoulders, and as the family heir, I do need to set a great example.
The burdens of being the firstborn of your particular family. It's a damn shame that Juby is ours, leaving me here second fiddle.
Sure, there's always room to improve.
Well, I have a feeling Juby will eventually make her own mistakes, and obviously at that point I think that the student becomes the master of the fine arts of training. And she kind of flexes her muscles like, I'm ready.
See, I can't wait to see. Perhaps you and I can go for a sparring session sometime. Until then, I am going to scout up the above rooms to see which one would be more my size.
Okay, well, don't make yourself a stranger. And she winks at you. And she's fiddling her hair in with one of her fingers.
I just give a smirk and walk upstairs.
Okay. And with that, we can safely transition to the next of our little stories over the next week, which I believe was actually going to be organized between Cess, Paige, and Jubilee. Would you like to elaborate about that?
Yeah, I think the idea was a gals' night in, as we sort of situate ourselves in the large master bedroom and try to get ourselves comfortable and figure out, sleeping arrangements and whatnot. Yeah, just sort of talk and catch up as we do so.
Okay. So
Night, girls' night.
girls' night. You could have Lily bring you some wine and treats.
Jubilee introduces them to face masks, mani-pedis.
I know what those are at least.
Paige has never made contact with one in her entire life.
Well, The three of you are gathered in Jubilee's room with a very crotchety Magnolia, since she's going to be sharing this room as well.
Do we know how the seating or the bed arrangements are going to be? There's technically only one bed, right?
Oh, we got our sleeping cots, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, obviously I'd be sleeping on the bed with my sister.
I think it'd be only fair if we had some sort of rotating system. It's not fair if my sister and I hog the bed the whole time.
Actually, what I thought was fair was that we all used sleeping cots and no one used the bed. And, in typical fashion, we just put extra stuff on the bed, like clothes that won't fit in the closet. Now looking at the closet now overfilled between says Jubilee and Magnolia's clothes, and like 2 extra uniforms of pages.
There's so much pink in that closet.
Oh, I can take my stuff out of the closet.
I mean, I guess, but we could use the bed for that, and then we all have sleeping. I mean, there's no way. I mean, Jubilee, I know you have a sleeping cot, but your sister does too, right? I mean, she came out here to be an adventurance, so yeah.
Right, Magnolia? You don't mind roughing it a little bit.
But that's crazy. We have a bed. Why wouldn't we sleep in the bed? Why would we sleep on a cot? What even is that? Does that even work? How does your back get supported?
Oh, well,
Get yourself the half of the bed is throw pillows. Pick one, dig it under your back.
It does feel a little sad though to let a whole mattress to go to waste. I'd feel bad. I mean, we already have cots, and you're used to sleeping on the bed. I honestly don't mind.
See, this girl, she got a good head on her shoulders.
No. You two. No. See, we're gonna do what's fair. One way or another. Either we all get cots, or we have a rotating system.
Juby!
Wait a minute. This bed's on a stand, yeah?
Yeah, it's got like a bed.
I'm taking the mattress off the stand. Y'all want to make a... Have you all made a pillow fort before? I feel some voice in the back of my skull bringing up as an idea, and I like it.
I mean, we used to have some exercises in trench digging. Is that what we're talking about here?
Yeah, I could dig a trench.
Huh?
Do we need to fortify this bedroom? Because I think we get some wood from downstairs, maybe some hammers and nails, and we could make this place a nice, proper, defensible position.
Have you all ever had a pillow fight before?
I mean, we've had fights. We spar all the pillow seems a rather ineffective choice, though.
Yeah, why would you use a pillow to fight? Why not a knife or a sword or a club?
No.
Go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
It's more for just like playing around. It's not supposed to be harmful.
I fail to see the point in such an exercise.
Yeah, when we played around, we always used real weapons. How else you be prepared when for somebody come at you?
Well, unfortunately, I don't even think this is a poor person. I think this is just a normal person thing. Most people don't actually have their kids raised with weapons. I learned because I had to make a paycheck, but me. It's not like I stab Paige for fun before bed.
No, she doesn't. I can.
Oh, no, that'd be weird. Why would you do that to your sister?
Yeah, why would you do that before bed?
You know what? Just put the stand up. Me and Paige will put together the blanket fort, and you two can watch and learn.
All right.
Yeah.
Seems weird, but okay.
All right, now, Maggie, do you want the aloe vera mask or the activated charcoal?
Oh, you know how I feel about activated charcoal, Juby.
All right.
Charcoal?
We're just gonna put on face masks while you two do the work.
She goes, and what color are you
I got a
thinking today for your
skincare kit.
nails?
It's okay. I've taken a little bit of engineering, I can definitely get us the most efficient fort.
Yeah. I'm just sort of like taking everyone's cots and slapping them adjacent to the mattress to expand sleeping space. But I got no idea how those height things work, how the blankets work. I could never get them right.
It's okay, just leave that to me. Yeah, she's gonna construct it all nice and neat and sturdy for them.
I got some skincare in my kit, and I got the moisturizer I give you, Paige. But I get the feeling you're gonna try a whole lot more than usual tonight, yeah?
Oh, well, I mean, if you want, I think there's a few things that I could show you.
Would you be fine with that? I mean, like, I got a few basic things. I got like some basic, like, she pulls out like a pile of face masks, like the kind that like they hand out for free on the streets.
Magnolia looks
Like,
horrified.
face lotion.
I mean, those will do just fine in a pinch, but I swear, once you try one of these masks, one of these ones, you won't want to go back.
Sounds addictive. You two sure you don't have a problem?
I mean, you only do it, like once in a while. I gotta keep myself hydrated.
Yeah, you think good skin is a
Hydrated,
problem?
moisturized. Yeah.
You're
I mean,
not-
what did you think I did after I burned down that warehouse? Oh my goodness.
I just thought
Oh
you
my-
would. I just thought you sort of like woke up like that. I mean, obviously, morning routine, but like, I don't know. You're pretty. That's kind of the only way I've seen you. Wait,
Oh.
we can see you this morning without your makeup.
Jubilee suddenly looks horrified at this realization.
You don't actually drink the mask, right? You said
No.
you mentioned hydration.
Everybody looks terrified.
For your skin. No, your skin. You
Uh-huh.
hydrate your skin.
You
Please
know
don't
how-
drink it.
You know how like during the cold months in Shan, I made you put lip balm on so your lips don't crack.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that for your skin.
Oh, well, I mean, my skin is okay, right? She's like pinching, like pulling up her cheeks a little bit.
How does your skin feel? Are you
I-
dry skins?
Are you
Yeah,
telling
so
are you telling
dry.
me you've never done anything for your skin?
Hey, do you just naturally look like that?
Huh? Oh, I mean, I use soap and water on my face.
Oh my god. It's so unfair.
That is illegal. How could somebody so poor be so good looking?
Our ma did that.
Our mother was very beautiful.
Oh, well, so is, our mama's quite the specimen herself, but unfortunately, this pink skin comes at a cost. You gotta keep it nice and dewy.
Yeah,
You're beautiful, Jubilee.
Thank you.
You know what would really mess with Kliff, and also because I just want to see it. Just go a whole day without makeup. See if he even recognizes you.
Oh no, I don't know if I could do that.
how could you even be seen without makeup on a whole day? What would people think?
I don't know. Do people think a lot about it?
Seems like an arbitrary task. It kind of gets in the
Okay.
middle of their day.
I mean, okay, hold on. It's allowed. It's okay. I sometimes, put on a little blush and I paint my nails, for occasions. I had a life outside the pits, sis. Makeup good. Just, maybe not a daily thing. Says is not like imagining like both of like Jubilee and Magnolia's parents like just caked with makeup for their dewy skin. It's like full on 18th avant-garde like white powdered faces with bright red
Well, if you suggested it, I at least would like to try one of the non-drinking masks.
Absolutely. And she's gonna whip out like a cute little headband with a bow and shove it on your head, push your bangs back, and you could tell she is just delighted by this. Mixing up that mask.
Oh, Juby, we
Oh.
gotta do a little makeover for her. She never been properly done up before.
I mean, but nothing too much, cause Paige already looks so gosh darn good as it is. It's just not fair.
It is wildly unfair.
She is cleaning her glasses like feverishly.
Yeah, but I'll start picking out a good color for her. And I'll get out the cotton balls.
Are you sure it's okay? This is fine, right?
Oh, it's perfectly fine. I just slap a gratuitous amount of mask on you.
It's
my nail
cold.
paint
It's
on
Your
cold.
face.
Wait, it's cold.
Andrew, I'm sorry. Yeah, it'll be cold. It'll be a little chilly.
I'm getting the nail paint set out.
Yep.
Now-
Thinking a bumblebee pattern, maybe some bumblebee polka dots on the nails.
Oh, that'd be cute.
Oh, that would be so cute.
Her face is so red. Her tail is so poofy.
Oh, we can't see the thing.
Can't
we
see
can't see
the-
the blood.
Yeah.
You have activated charcoal on your face right now.
I can't move my face. What's wrong with my face?
It'll
This
be
is
fine.
normal.
It'll be fine. You're doing great.
I'll take her toes if you want to do her hands.
Mm-hmm.
She's like as stiff as a board right now. Has her hands like spread out like really awkwardly.
Oh, don't worry, sis. We got the and I take out those like My mom has these like foam things that she puts between her fingers to like spread them out while nail painting. I'm assuming Sis would have something like that.
Yeah, well, Magnolia was also getting out some cotton balls to put between like toes and stuff.
I think we need a beverage. What do you think, Lily? Lily?
You then hear a light knocking, and then the door slowly open, and there's Lily. Like,
Yes, Lady Ravenon?
Oh, there you are. Thank you, Lily. We're having a bit of a girls' night in. Could you fetch a couple of bottles of wine from the basement, please?
Oh, absolutely. Do you have a preference, red or white?
A bit of both, please. Maybe a rosé too.
Oh, okay. I'll be right back. Anybody else like anything while I'm gone?
Sis is like very awkwardly staring out. She's got like the full like cookie pants pajama outfit on with her hair tied back and like a green face mask, just like thinking blankly. Snacks would be good. Oh, some. I don't know if we have any cheese or jerky bits to go with the wine.
Maybe a charcuterie board. Yeah.
Oh, and could you bring something non-alcoholic for me at least? I don't know if we have anything like that. I cannot think of any non-alcoholic medieval drinks at the moment.
I'll get you some orange juice if you like.
That works.
Okay, it's gonna take a couple trips because I can only carry so much, but I will start on
You know
that.
what, Lily? I will go with you.
No, it's perfectly fine. I'll go get the other maids to help.
My nails are done. I will come with you. It'll be easy, one trip in and out, just real quick, adventure,
Lily puts her hands on her hips as she looks up at you and goes,
Sass, I said I would take care of this with the other maid. You enjoy your time tonight with your friends and leave all of this to me.
I'm gonna continue walking into Lily and say, you know how long a night is? And then close the door behind us.
she's trying to like put her hands against your knee as you just casually can push past her.
I'm not trying to shove her, like,
Yeah.
I'll like step over her.
It's like she's sliding back. Like
Yeah, basically.
Sis is just walking.
Oh,
Sis's hitbox is massive.
Lily's really starting to stand up for herself. It's so nice to see.
It is. Also, Paige is almost blind at this point. She does not have her glasses.
Glasses off, mask on, being painted currently.
Everything's a big blur.
Now, how you feeling, Paige? Is it drying okay?
I think so. It's kind of hard to move my mouth a little bit.
All right, that's good. That's good.
Does that mean it's working?
Yep, it's working.
It feels kind of weird. I'm not sure how I feel about this, but it feels nice.
Your skin will be just smooth as a baby's bottom after this.
It'll be glowing.
Baby's butts glow.
It'll be glowing.
He just knows what's happening in the house.
Yeah,
all the
Lily
time.
always knows.
She knows everything.
I've
She
got
has
three
secret
female
passages
characters
where-
in this house.
She has secret passages and she can peep in all the rooms through holes in the walls.
Yep.
Currently, constant scrying.
Yep.
You're telling me you never, took the time to, like, pamper yourself even just a little bit?
I have a lot to do. I mean,
Oh, so do I. I mean, I work a pretty tough gig. Well, I did, anyway.
of course. No, I didn't mean anything by that, of course. I just meant it was never a priority. I mean, you look so beautiful all the time. You have an image.
Well,
Mhm.
gotta keep up appearances,
But you like it, right? You don't... Is this
Oh,
something you enjoy?
Oh, no, yes, I like it very much. I like to take good care of myself and, treat myself. But, yeah, for our line of work, being seen with noble households and all that, they do expect you to look the part as well. So whether I liked it or not, it wouldn't really matter.
That's a lot of pressure. I'm sorry, I never considered that before.
Well, you get used to it, ain't that right, Maggie?
Oh, of course. It comes with living in the lap of luxury. You gotta earn that right. We make sure to fight and do everything we need to do properly to uphold the family honor as well as our professionalism.
Rich people have it hard too.
In a very different way, I suppose.
You wouldn't understand what that's like to have such a hard life like we do.
Well, now say it, Maggie. That's unkind.
I mean, we all have our struggles and each have our own, differences, our own roles that we have to play. So it makes sense, but I mean, well, makeup or not, you're always lovely. So
Thank you, Paige. And without warning, I just start to rip off the mask off of your face. It comes off easier when you're not expecting it.
I hope her whiskers are okay.
Lesson
Put
1 about beauty. You must be prepared for anything at any time.
Put a nice cool washcloth on your face.
oh, is that supposed to happen?
Oh yes, it hurts like the dickens.
Pain is beauty is really painful.
It can be, darling, it can be.
But look at your paws. They're so much better kept now.
Oh, she kind of touches her face a little bit, like it does feel smoother.
Mm-hmm.
I could not quite compare it to a child's bottom because I've never touched one before, but I will take your word for it.
Sorry.
Are you the youngest of the two of you?
No, I'm older. She.
Oh.
Oh.
I really wish I was in there right now.
I
Then come
I
back
guess
in.
I could sense it based on your level of maturity, but and your clear intelligence.
Yes, Sess argues, but we all know who's correct.
Let me know when I come back. and
Yeah,
get
I
the
think at
room.
this point you and Lily can come back with the drinks and snacks.
Do I hear that?
If you want.
Yeah, if you want to, you can hear it.
Says walks in as you say that and just stares daggers at you.
She conveniently covers her face a little with the cloth.
Anyways, here's the charcuterie, and she like lays down the one thing she was allowed to carry onto the floor next to everyone.
Thank you, Sass.
Lily comes down and you see her hands are like totally full, like she's carrying a basket just full of drinks. And she starts like taking them out of the little basket and putting each bottle in front of around the charcuterie board and taking out some glasses.
Thank you, Lily. I think we can take it from here. Just leave the bottle opener, you know.
Of course, would you like me to open the bottles for you?
Maybe just one for now. The night is young, you know.
Yes, of course, Lady Ravamon.
And she starts putting in the bottle opener, and she's twisting it and twisting it. And then she gets to the last little part where to try and take the cork out, and she seems to be struggling there for a moment with her little hands.
Do you want a little bit of assistance?
Well, I've got this.
And she yanks out the cork after she like puts her feet on either side of the base of the bottle and just like full upper body to pull this out.
Oh my god, I love her.
Whew, there you go.
Thank you, Lily.
Are
Thank
you
you
sure
very
you don't want
much.
me to open the others?
Absolutely, I can take it over from here.
Okay. Well, if you need anything else, just let me know, and I'll be sure to get it.
And she looks up at Cess poutily.
Says like looks at her for a quick second, then goes back to looking at Paige. Not letting you get away with that one.
She's adjusting her glasses back on her face, like.
Well,
And by this point, her nails should be done, right?
Yep,
Everyone's.
Yep, your nails are all pretty in a little bumblebee pattern.
She's doing that whole thing where she like sticks her hands out, like looks at them, and like moves her fingers around a little.
you right?
It's adorable. Yes, thank you.
Oh, that reminds me. And then says quickly, and just one take rips off her face mask. Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah, that's. What?
It hurts so much.
What are you? Huh?
The
What do you
mask.
mean what?
She
doesn't.
goes over and like touches your face. Like, do you have no feeling in your cheeks?
No, I have feeling, big sis.
So, just an older sister looking out for her younger one.
Don't worry, I'm sure all the aunties back home will be glad to hear how much care you've taken of me during this whole trip.
I think at this point, Jubilee is in hostess mode and is pouring everyone a glass of wine, orange juice in Cess's case, and hands it to each of them. Just, well, I'm real grateful for, the opportunity that we have. It may be a little cramped, but I feel like, we've known each other for a while, but I haven't really taken the time to really get to know you two, and I do apologize for that, but if we're going to be working together and living together, I thought this would be a nice opportunity. If you're alright with that.
Of course, yes.
I mean, I understand discretion is key. We don't have to
That's fine,
talk
that's
about
fine.
anything.
As long as we're all being honest and truthful and straightforward with one another.
Of course.
I believe what Sess is trying to imply is a discrepancy between ages, between us. Rather convinced she is the older one, but I pretty certain.
We literally are twins. I mean, look at us. We're twins.
Yeah. Yes, but one has to come out before the other. That's just the way the body works.
Were you aware enough to know if you came out first or not?
I mean, I am certain Mother has told me before that I was the first one.
That explains why you two are so close.
Yes, and you and your sister as well. It's nice to, hang out sister to sister to sister to sister.
Yeah, we haven't done this in a while, have we, Maggie? Too long.
Yeah, too long. And as she says that, she will reach over and pull off your mask.
Ow. Yes, unfortunately with me and Maggie, our relationship, it's more of a professional one since, Daddy placed her under my care. But it's good to take some time to, be sisters and not co-workers.
You mean put me here to make sure that you don't get into trouble?
Right, because of the two of us, I'm the troublemaker.
I didn't burn down a warehouse in the last few days.
That was a necessity to finish the job. You can tell she's not buying it as it comes out of her mouth.
I mean, again, that's not really on you, Jubilee. I mean, accidents happen. That's why we find ways to make up for them. For instance, old Paige here felt the need to make up for something by giving someone what she likes to call a forgiveness face, was it?
Oh,
Yes.
the bread face, yes.
Wait, what?
It's
A bread
proven.
face?
Yes, it's proven thus far to be very effective. In terms of discomfort or if you need to apologize, a nice vase, preferably with some sort of bread. It's it's a peace offering of sorts.
Magnolia.
This was one
Sorry.
one of Kliff's ideas that he passed down to Paige.
Oh, it one of Kliff's ideas. I was about to say, is this some kind of peasant joke I'm too rich to understand? But if it came from Kliff, that probably meant it was meant to be some kind of prank to make you look foolish.
Wait, a prank? You don't normally do that?
She's not being serious, is she, Juby?
Her maturity and wisdom knows bounds, She humored him clearly, yes?
Absolutely. I mean, she saw right through Kliff's foolishness and tried to one-up him by actually doing it.
Looking between the two, like wide-eyed.
Says actively has the look of, I'm going to gas you up so hard so that when you mess up, it'll be hilarious.
Right.
Right. He has a joke. I'm known to be quite hilarious.
more cheese, sis?
Yes, please.
You've always been good at cutting it. I say passing her the
Oh
plate.
my god.
So he takes a sip of the wine. A little faster than she should have.
Jubilee is starting to put her hair into rollers. Now, twins, right? So, is it just you two siblings, or?
I mean, just us and some other neighborhood brats.
Wow, small family.
Yeah.
Myself
really-
and Maggie, we have well, it's a family of five children, so
Oh,
quite a busy household.
I'm sure it's never boring, though.
No, it is not. And not just because the children either. And starts to sip her wine.
She Magnolia kind of also like picks up her wine and sips and goes, yet very much not just because of the children.
It sounds like you two have got a lot to spill.
Mm.
Don't worry, what
wow.
happens in Blanket Fort stays in Blanket Fort.
I
Unless
mean,
it's
this.
funny.
Well, it's kind of funny. There's not much to tell. Mama and Daddy, they had a bit of a falling out several years ago, you might say. And Daddy remarried, and well, he's clearly got a type, if you understand what I'm saying. So.
I'm
We're not-
following. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, you're following? Oh, yes.
Did you have something else you wanted to say, sis?
No, we're not talking about boats right now, right?
I'm not quite sure why you keep talking about boat.
Have you even ever seen a boat before?
Oh, yes. No, it's the metaphorical sense, in stories in the books I've read.
Paige, listen, did you bring that one book, the latest one you and your friends at college have been making boats about?
Oh, yes.
Do you want to use that to explain to them what the boats are?
Sure.
She says, take a long sip from the OJ cup.
She's gonna go over to her little satchel and start digging through. It pulls it. I thought of a name for it.
Oh my god,
Oh,
I love this.
Let's go.
It is called the Groundbreaking Ties of Love.
Oh my god, it's so cheesy, I love it.
Wait, is it the Dwarf X Elf one?
Yes.
Oh my god, the groundbreaking ties of love.
Oh.
She'll return to the pillow fort and hand it over to Jubilee.
Jubilee is gonna flip through it, and you can see her pink face getting darker and darker and darker until she slams the book shut, does not hand it to Maggie, hands it back to Paige, and she's, Paige, I thought you were a good girl, oh my god.
Wait, what's
Please
in the
read some of
book?
it out loud.
Oh my god.
I thought it was quite informative, actually.
Oh, it was very informative.
Well, I
Sister's
should be
like spit out
informed.
her OJ, like, what has my sister been learning?
It is very informative.
Yes, I've never really been in a boat before, so just, not for me necessarily, but I like to gather research.
Oh my god, so when you said me and Kliff were in a boat, oh my god.
Wait,
Oh my
what?
god.
You
Probably
and
didn't mean like
Kliff?
that, but
Oh my god. She is like deep magenta from like head to toe and the tips of her ears. Oh my god.
Was I misinformed? Is that no?
okay, listen, Juby, she probably didn't mean like that. She probably meant more so in the romantic sense. I know those sorts of books have those sorts of scenes, but if you like here's a page that's not so bad, and it's like page 140. It's like, Oh, they're holding wait, they're holding hands. No, wait, another one. Okay, look, they're on a bench. Like that's cute. That's romantic. I think that's what she usually means. I mean, if she meant like this and she turns to forbidden page 327, if she meant that every time she made a boat about somebody, I'd be concerned. So
Magnolia's like leaning over, trying to look at page 327.
Maggie, no. Maggie,
Read it out
no.
loud, you cowards.
I already read out hand holding. I think that's the spiciest chat can handle right now.
Yeah.
I am also more than down to work on an actual story with Yulia if she'd like.
Oh my gosh, please!
The Groundbreaking Ties of Love actual novel. Let's go. Let's go.
No. Oh, but
Lady Dwarf
Even-
was ashamed she shaved her beard only for a male elf to look down and see the true beauty within, unlike all of her other bearded dwarven sisters.
Oh god,
I
no, the
even-
audiobook's played.
Chapter 3.
even still, even still, there's no boat. There's no boat. There's
Not anymore, right?
no that
You threw that key to the boat back to him, right? I don't know if
There
boats have
was-
keys, but
there was never a boat.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was misinformed. I didn't mean to make it awkward.
No, it's fine. Yeah, no. I mean, we've known each other, sort of, a while. No, I guess I can't even say that anymore.
I mean, you've known each other, but this recent change of events has has you really re-examining things. That's a good way to put it, right, Magnolia?
Wait, what are you all
Start
talking
fucking-
about? What's wrong with Kliff?
Oh, you just know how Kliff is. He's flatty and indecisive, and two-faced.
Oh,
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that about Kliff. I think he's actually pretty nice.
He
I didn't
was
say
getting
he
nicer.
was. I didn't say he wasn't nice, but yeah, there's. Yeah, there was nothing ever between us,
Well,
except a sense of pride and rivalry, perhaps.
the book also does start with a rivalry, but I understand.
Well, now that you've got the concept of boats down, and now that we've started romance off awkwardly, is this the part of the slumber party where we talk about people like that? I was gonna say boys, but it's kind of, I mean, some girls are cute, some non-binaries are cute. I mean, do you guys want to talk about romance stuff?
Well,
Well,
we
it should be-
could. I think we absolutely could.
Oh, I don't have any.
Finishes putting the last roller in, puts a bonnet over. Let's talk.
I don't have anything like that. But do you, Sess?
Says looks at her sister with a hand on her shoulder. Now listen, sis. If I ever had somebody like my life like that, you think I wouldn't tell you? I'm gonna roll deception.
Do it!
Roll a deception. That's a 12.
Should I roll insight?
Yes, make an insight check, please.
4.
It's believable.
Let's go.
It's believable.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You would. Silly. I know.
All right,
Anyone?
sis.
Anyone back home you've got your eyes set on?
Stuff like love I don't think too much about, because it's I already got my hands full doing with my older sister, right?
Oh, please, a pretty girl like you?
Well, maybe other places will inspire some other stories. But right now, I've been exposed to a lot of it around me as well. I'd be open to talking about that. Like, can we talk to you about our teachers? Like, my coach and her professor kind of got a boat going on. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes,
You
there's clearly a
don't
boat.
say.
They're boating?
Yes, Professor Elmadon. That's my school professor, and your coach are usually neck and neck most of the time, but I think I've seen them pretty close before.
Neck and neck?
They're kind of like, you know how you and Kliff are rivals. That they sort of, it's a love-hate thing. They didn't like each other at first. I mean, for context, one's a Dwer. My coach is a Dwerga, and her professor's what kind of elf is she? Is she an elf? Sorry, I don't want to assume.
She is.
Yeah, you see that like that. You see where the boat's coming from,
Oh.
right?
It's just like that
Yes.
book, isn't it?
Just like the book.
Yes,
Except
yes.
page 327 hasn't happened yet.
Oh, I see. So they're still in like the 200s.
Yes, early
Yeah.
200s. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They've like gotten lunch together sometimes, or waiting for the two of us to come talk to them. I'm just saying, something steamier happened in that booth than ramen, you know?
Oh, goodness. Yeah, I mean, goodness, the stories Maggie and I could you listen, whew, they definitely have houses full of secrets.
And everybody's been with everybody, if you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of boats happening in that shipyard, so
Whew. Paige's face is getting a little red.
I can't wait for Paige to learn about Yacht Club.
Oh no. Oh no. God, imagine with the Pages thing, like, you know that one episode of Adventure Time where Jake's explaining dating to Finn, and then Finn's like, what's at step 18? And Jake's like, don't you dare go there! You stay away from page 327!
This is fun. I mean, this is what, normal sleepovers are like, right?
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, this is what Maggie and I would do. Maggie would bring her friends over and we'd do similar things. Nails and gossip and all that.
Listen, all I know is I'm with good company, I'm eating good food, having good drink. I'm having a good time. And if that's all that's needed for a slumber party, then we are living it. She says as she takes another cracker with fruit, cheese, and meat on it into her mouth.
Well,
I'd like
Let's-
to do this more often.
I agree, but let's not stay up too terribly late. We do have a neighbor next door after all.
Speaking of, I want to make sure he's settling in all right. Do one of you two want to go check on him, or should I?
Oh god, not me. I just put my hair in the bonnet.
Why don't we just get Lily to do it?
Well, let's just say, this is a matter that needs a more personal touch. Paige, should I do it then?
I mean, only if you want to. Do you need me to accompany you?
I feel like one of us should check on him at least. Maybe not more than one person to intimidate him. I'll go do it. I'll do it then.
Well, try not to intimidate him then.
Cess is never intimidating.
Oh,
I don't know. She looks pretty scared of me.
If y'all could only see the way I had to wake him up this morning. Anyways, I'm gonna go check on Kliff real quick, I guess, to make sure he's okay.
This will be the last note of the sleepover before we do the other stories.
Oh, jeez.
So, just because I'm mindful of time. So you go knock on Kliff's door next door.
Kliff?
Come in.
I open the door. What do I see?
You can see Kliff sitting on the bed. Their face constantly fluctuating between Kliff and paint, but Kliff is strongly overpowering it. And you can see they are crying. And there is a razor blade, a hair razor blade, sitting next to him on the bed.
I very slowly and calmly close the door behind me. I then rush up and grab the blade because last I checked, neither Kliff nor Paint had facial hair, so that's probably not a good thing to have at the ready.
He wants me to shave her head. I don't want to.
Okay. Says is gonna very awkwardly just grab whatever furniture. There's like a spare chair or a dresser, and move it to a cross. Nobody to sit on, and looks at him and goes, "So, when you say him, you're talking about Kliff, right?"
They look at you and nod. Tears still coming down their face.
All right, listen. I know Kliff's been at the control for a long time. I know wresting that control from a child is hard. They're not going to have the maturity to understand what needs to be done. And I'm sure he's listening right now. And yes, you are a child, but you'll grow up. But you have to be open to that. Anyways. You sure he wants to actually shave his head, or is he just messing with you? Because something tells me when I grab like the pink bits of the hair, not the blue ones, the pink, and then I hold the razor blade to it. Something tells me he doesn't want me to shave his head. Right?
Not his hair. He wants me to shave Jubilee's hair when she's sleeping. I don't want to do that. He says that she deserves it, but I don't want to.
Have you asked him why she deserves it?
I don't know. I think he's mad at me for trying to be Paint.
Are you able to
punishment?
Are you able to talk to him at all, like on an equal level, or does he? It's your body, right?
Only in my dreams, and I don't want to dream right now. I'm scared he's going to put me back in that place. The bottom of the well.
Listen, I don't know exactly what's happening in your head. This is beyond me. I'm scared it might be beyond Paige, but you let him in your mind. You gave him that chair. You were being neighborly to a corpse, I guess, but you were being neighborly. The way I see it, if you don't want to be in that well, you can think of any number of ways to get out. You've got plenty of other people who would help you get out of that well. You know that, right? I ain't just talking about Jubilee.
They look up at you, and for a second, the Paint side seems to shift and take more control. Before suddenly the Kliff face completely overpowers it. And they stand up. Thank you for checking up on me. I'll be fine. I think it's time we both go ahead and go to bed, though.
Let me say this right now. You are more than one person, right?
I'm the man of my dreams.
Funny thing about dreams is that there's more than one. There's two of you in there. You can pretend to not see him at all. You and I both know he's there. You can't hide that from me that you know. He is just as much a part of this team as you are. And I'm picking favorites, but I am saying to stop picking fights with him and don't pick fights with anybody else. I don't know if you ever did any teamwork building classes in your elementary school or whatever the hell you learned growing up, but you treat each other with equality and respect. If I catch you doing anything harmful to Paint, to Jubilee, if you dare come for me and my sister, I'm gonna make your waking life a living hell. So bad, you'll want to stay in paid streams. Are we clear?
They give a very large, toothy smirk, but it doesn't reach their eyes.
Nasty thing about wells, by the way. She's walking out. If you stare over the well long enough, most kids have a nasty habit of falling in. I'm just saying, crazy things can happen in dreams, right? Anyways, Kliff, tomorrow's breakfast, no honey, no sugar, alright? And she walks out the room.
Okay. Yeah, on that note, we will wrap up the slumber party. And
Most awkward way to wrap it up.
yeah, it's not how I thought it was gonna play out. Be honest. So we'll jump over to the public religious event that Cess has volunteered to contribute towards.
Do I still have my hair?
Oh, Seth absolutely would stamp an extra couple of hours to make while I was asleep to make sure. Just staring at that door. Oh god.
Yeah, so the rest of that goes uneventfully. But yeah, so the next day you will, or not the next day, but later on you will be tasked to Friday comes along and Ray's gonna go head into your portion of Greywall and start setting up shop. What do you wish to do?
I see Rain setting up shop, right? Just making sure the last bit, right?
Yeah.
I brought over some cooking, as much as I could do while Lily was busy cleaning other places. And I have these like pots of like potato salad, a little pot of soup, some bread, in a vase, a la Paige. Can I just put these around to give out, or?
Ray kind of looks at you and goes, I can't believe you actually came.
Big on community. May not give a damn about religion, but people are nice, yeah? She says as she's like putting things onto the table.
You notice in the area around you, people look at Ray and by association you with both curiosity, disdain, and a bit of fear. And you notice that there are several gnolls wearing the dark gray robes like High Priestess Hecate wore, with the symbols of the Dark Six around their neck, who are just kind of in the area watching this play out. And you also notice a couple of Captain Venomspite's guards in the vicinity. And Ray sits down at her table and just kind of scowls.
You are trying to be friendly there, right?
Can't you tell?
I'm afraid most people don't have my discerning eye for detail.
I'm being welcoming. They will come to me if they want my assistance.
Has anyone come to you so far?
Well, not today. I just started.
I mean, in general.
Yes, sometimes.
I want to incite that.
Okay.
Yeah. That's an 11.
She seems to be saying that she is sometimes people do come.
Sometimes, alright. Well, I'm assuming you're not gonna settle for sometimes, right? I mean, in my experience, people like you and me who want to help people, we don't settle for sometimes. We settle for as much as we can, yeah?
I'm being as welcoming as I can be. She stands up and like holds a loaf of bread at the crowd.
Okay, listen, I'm gonna give you a little house. I'm gonna give you a little church Boldre secret right here. And says sort of like takes the top of the soup pot off and waves it with the lid to like get the smell going out. It's this like homemade aromatic stew, like it completely vegetarian, but like the smell of garlic and onions start wafting through the air, and that like sort of combines with the smell of the bread vase and the bits of potato salad that still also have that garlic sense to them.
Mhm.
Starts ladling out bowls and putting them out. No one's really approaching at this point, right? They're just smelling the good food.
Yeah, you do see that as you start wafting odors about, you do see some knoll pups, as well as some shifters are beginning to look at this, but the shifters still look very concerned.
Now we get them with this, and I hand a smaller bowl to Lady Ray, and I take one myself, and I just sip it up, and I have the most evident face of like deliciousness on right now. Like I'm not even trying to hide anything. I like this soup. It's a classic.
Ray
Come
kind
on.
of watches you with her crystal eye at her side as she puts the soup up to her lips, and you notice as she mimics you, part of it slides through the open part of her face. But she quickly tries to wipe it up.
Ray, you are quite the cat. I don't know why other people haven't noticed you. And like I'm sort of like laughing with her and stuff.
What do you even mean?
Nah, you got this. You have this sense of charm to you that I wish more people would come over and see. You know, soup's good, food good, you're good.
I keep saying I'm here to help these people. And you notice that eventually, as this is playing out, you do see out behind the crowd the rather large regal form of High Priestess Hecate approaching just at the back of the crowd. And she's watching you guys as she leans down to one of the gnolls at her side. And the gnoll walks over to the front of the crowd and pushes forward some of the gnoll pups that look a little dirtier, a little more mangy than the rest. And they start approaching, as now there seems to be a palpable tension in the crowd that has been released. And they go up, and Ray looks down at them as she pours some soup, and she gets down on one of her metal knees and hands the bowl to one of the pups, and he gives it a couple sniffs, looks up at her very scarred face and metal arm extending forth with the bowl, and he reluctantly takes it. And you notice the very slightest of like miniature smiles as curves the flesh part of her lips.
See that, Ray? You can make people smell. She says, like scarfing down one of the pieces of bread.
And just as quickly as it came, it disappears. It replaces with that same scowl. And she goes, "Well, we've got to hand out lots of food."
As long as the people know it's there to help. Hey, little guy.
Yeah?
Look down. You like that, right?
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, how about you, do me a favor here, and I start, like, taking some spare cloth and wrapping up a little, like, lunch package, a little large, hand it down to him. You give that to your ma and your pa and your siblings, whatever. You add it to your dinner, all right?
Yeah, oh, okay. I'll be sure to take it to them.
As long as you guys have a good time eating it, I'll be happy, alright?
May the flame guide your path, little one.
That's her way of saying she wishes you the best, too.
And, he and his friends, after they grab their food, will scamper away. And we also, I will be providing healing services if anybody is injured. I will place my hands upon you and you'll be healed.
I think they got the idea, right? I mean, they know you're a cleric, or at least the religious sort. She's just sitting back down.
And yeah, with that, not like a staggering amount of people, but maybe about 20 people over the course of the couple hours you're there will come up and get some food, always under the watchful eye of the High Priestess and her followers.
I mean, 20 people is actually really good for our first time doing this. That's good. Thank you.
I've never had this many people come before. The soup must have been especially good.
I'll take the credit then. Thank you. But hope you can tell the soup wasn't the only thing warm about today, you know?
Perhaps the flame was working through us this day.
Alright, well, you'll get a better feel of that flame, I guess, as we do this week by week, day by day. I'm hoping more people come by to contribute. They don't exactly have to join your church, right?
No, but it would be in their soul's best interest to.
Alright. Well, that's good to know. Hopefully, I'll be sure to tell people as they come by. Anyways.
My church is always open, and I am always prepared to provide the flame's warmth and love to any who come for it.
I know, Ray. I know. That's why I'm here. Anyways.
And
As the day winds down, Obs and Seth starts cleaning up. Those guards are like still around.
yeah,
right?
they're still watching you guys.
I'm gonna take really quick because I know we don't want to go on too long for this.
Yep.
I'm gonna take a pack of those leftovers,
Mm-hmm.
and especially if I see like that lion shifter guard that I fought with last time,
Yeah,
if
he'll
he's
be
there,
there.
I'm gonna approach them and say, "Now listen, I know my investigation gave you guys trouble, and I know having another religion here causes trouble, but no bad blood, okay? There's no animosity, all right? We're both people trying to do the right thing. And I know you guys can't exactly be seen accepting stuff from me, but if I were to leave a potentially suspicious package on the floor and you guys took it and deemed it safe to eat, I mean, says is gonna put the food on the floor before turning around if they don't have anything else to say."
He grunts and goes, "Yeah, I guess it would. I'd have to investigate further back at the barracks."
Oh, you might need to share it with the others, get their take on the investigation,
Of course, I couldn't handle something like this by myself. I just want to say that I don't know where you came from, who you are, but you did do a good thing by those kids. And wish it could have been better. That's all I can tell you.
All I need to know is that you would have done the same thing if you could. Anyways, you take it easy, big man. You and the others enjoy that investigation. I'm gonna help Lady Ray pack up.
Okay. And with that, he takes the food away. And as you and Ray pack up, the various priests and guards begin to melt away into the crowd as the crowd disperses.
All right, well, that's a good on my end, Obs, unless you have anything else you need me to do.
Ray will put her metal arm on your shoulder as you drop everything off at her little chapel and go, "You're not as incompetent as I was led to believe."
You've got funny ways of showing how you care, and I appreciate it.
Well, you're always welcome here.
Of course, I know. I'll be back next week if I can. And, so on and so forth to bother you and or give away free food.
Whatever. Just don't waste my time.
Any time spent with you ain't a waste, lady. You have a nice night. She says,
She
walking away.
Scowls and slams the door to her chapel. But yeah, and with that we'll finish the Cess and Ray, and then finally we will do Kliff and Lady Crowtrixia. Liam.
I am here.
Yes.
I am feeling guilty because I took up time earlier during the slumber party, so I'll try and make it
It's
quick.
fine.
I gave you that time, buddy.
The slumber party was so much longer. It's okay.
At some point during the week, Kliff will ask Lady Crowtrixia if she has any free time, so he may come over and ask a few questions. Not unannounced, of course. He wants to send word ahead and actually ask if she has any free time.
Yep, she'll say she'll have some time one night.
Alright. He'll head over to her place after that.
Alright. The Knolls will let you in.
And when he does come to her, he starts to ask her a few questions.
Okay. She'll meet you once again in her room of pillows and books and scrolls.
Lady Crowtrixia, it's an honor once again to see you.
Oh, you know how delightful it is to see you, little one.
Yes, but you are not fully understanding how pleasing to the eye you really are compared to everyone else.
Have you just come here to charm me, or was there more to your request?
On the note of charms, actually, you said before about how you are a sorceress of your own power. Great strength and enchantments, I believe you said?
I have a way with enchantment as well as some more direct capabilities.
I am quite curious in this form of magic, if you would allow me to ask a few questions about it. Such as powerful charms. Tell me, when you do so, how much control of a target do you truly get?
She kind of leans back into her pillows and kind of looks down at you and goes, "Well, that would depend on what I cast. They can range from just you," and she'll extend her tail to kind of wrap around you and pull you close to her, like get close towards her face, and be like, "It could just be that you are charmed and you just want to be my best friend." Or, and then she kind of slowly will flick away her tail and unwrap around you on the other side of the room. Or, of course, there is more extreme controls that I can exert. It's how much that you choose to strip away the person underneath.
I see. Are there any countermeasures to stop some especially strong charms?
Well, there are of course some that prove more resistant to it. There have also been known that some people have trained to be more resistant or immune. But at the end of the day, it just comes down to, do you have a strong enough will to resist mine? As she kind of flicks her tail around your face.
See, you're quite strong of will indeed. Is there a way to surpass said resistance to further control over a person?
It takes time, training, and skill. And I'm not confident you have those capabilities quite yet.
Perhaps
If
you could teach me.
at all. Kind of scrutinize you. And then lean
Give a
in.
charming smirk.
Yeah, lean in, tongue flicking between her fangs. Go. I don't know if you have the proper capabilities. You don't seem to wield magic in quite the same way I do. I've seen people like you before. And alas, I can't teach you very much. That job belongs to something else in your life.
Is that right? Other than that, it's a great shame.
I know. I can spend so much time teaching you so many things.
There's many other things you could always teach me.
Oh, you're rather bold for someone so small. As she
Perhaps.
leans back into her pillows.
And I continue asking her about charms and other things the rest of the night and how to strengthen those on the people I cast them on
Yep.
before leaving for that night.
Okay. She'll explain to you the basics of how to do charm person, charm monster, and stuff. And the key is a lack of hostility in your overt actions. It's something subtle that you slide into, as if you're just having a conversation with a friend. And if you're lucky, they will become your friend during it. You'll tell when they have a certain glitter in their eye when you cast the spell.
Okay. That's all for me.
Okay. And with that, she will see you escorted out, but she's got kind of an amused smile on her face. And yeah, with that, we have accomplished all of the designated vignettes for the downtime period. So with that, about a week of in-game time goes by before you all receive a notice that there is a contract offering for you that is going to be offered on behalf of House Orien, no less. And that if you wish to inquire about further information for it, you are to head to the Lightning Rail station, and you are to meet with Clayton Ironfell, who is a House Orien engineer in charge of the Greywall Ardev line.
You said Clayton Ironfeld?
Yep. He is a male dwarf, House Orien engineer.
Speaking of lightning rail stations, we never got that letter.
Oh,
of
yeah, I
apology,
forgot. Over the
so
course of the week, you will get the letter.
I was about to say, I guess
he
he just quit because of his prejudice.
No, he has been removed from his position and assigned to a more maintenance capacity as he receives his new training for anything for Lord de Orien.
And what race did you say he was? I'm sorry.
He's a male dwarf.
Okay, thank you.
Dwarf gang rise up, gang gang.
I'll have a handout for you that you can get all the information from once you get to the quest area. But the offering is for you guys to guard lightning rail trains. That's the overall synopsis you've been given.
By the way, when Kliff got that letter of apology, rather than showing it to everyone else, they just burned it in the fire when no one's looking.
Okay. I've shared the quest handout to everyone in the party.
Yay! I'm going to look at that.
I'm assuming all of our housely stuff, our servants, the NPCs we interact with, those are taken care of. We can just hand wave those.
Yeah. They will. They don't matter. They do not matter while you're doing questing business, unless stated otherwise. They can handle their own little lives.
Got it. Got it. I just want to make sure Lady Ray is gonna be all right without me.
Yes, Lady Ray will somehow survive without you, big, strong cat girl, in her life.
It's gonna be hard to do so, I know.
It appears that my house has offered a quest. I think this will be a fantastic time to further investigate.
Oh. And to probably learn a bit more about you, and that's pretty exciting.
Of course, I am quite exciting itself. But moreover, you get to go back on the trains. Oh,
And
nothing
you're
more
okay.
glorious.
You're okay with doing something for your fam? I know you were a little jittery about, about your family.
Nothing but a past mistake. Do not worry about anything said back then.
Say so. I just want to make sure.
No, of course not. This is going to be a great job. We get to not only make money while doing it, but also support the great Orien family.
I mean, all right, hold on. Before we agree to anything, I want to make one thing clear. Is this how you want to act around us? I mean, in front of people who don't know, I totally understand, but I just... You don't... I just want you to be comfortable. You don't have to act any kind of way around to impress us.
That comfort doesn't really matter. I am Kliff de Orien, and I shall be acting like it from now on.
Well,
So,
if that's what you decide, but I mean, know that
That's
we're
what everyone agrees on, then I have no issue with it.
It is what I agree on. Now,
Just remember what
let
I
us
said,
go.
little boy.
You have the most charming eyes sometimes. But we should probably go investigate this. We must head over to the Greywall Lightning Rod line. You will find Clayton Ironfell there, male dwarf, who leads it. Looks like it appears to be a guard duty quest. Jubilee, you have experience with guard duty. Should be easy for you.
yeah, I mean, this does sound like something in my wheelhouse, so should be simple enough.
yeah, I'm excited to work with you all again officially. So let's go check out and see what it's about then.
Good luck on your job. I'll keep everybody in line here. Don't worry.
Thank you for taking care of the house, Lily.
Shavira and Nezca look at you, Jubilee, and go, are we to assume that we are to follow the little one while you are gone?
Oh, yes. For the time being, I think I can handle things on my own for now. I guess I should bring Magnolia can stay. She can figure out something else to do.
Alright,
If you guys don't feel like... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was like, we will defer to Lady Magnolia Bravamont while you are gone.
Sounds good. Make sure, don't let her boss you around. You three are, she's high and mighty, but you three are on equal footing. You know that, right?
Whatever you say, Lady Ravamon.
All right.
May you have safe travels.
Thank you. Take care.
They all bow. All right. So with that, you guys all head over to the lightning rail station. When you arrive back in the international enclave of Greywall, it's much more peaceful than it was previously. You don't see as many of the armed types about, and the ones that are appear to be more formally employed rather than sell swords and wand slingers. And as you head to the station, you see that there are a series of clocks all throughout the administrative office portion of the rail station that have like the names of different cities and kingdoms next to them. So there'll be like Korth and Karnath and like Flamekeep and Thrain and etc. Like all these different other locales. And you see a just a human female receptionist in immaculate attire and glasses sitting in front of a scrying screen as she looks up at you all and goes, welcome to House Orien Administrative Capacity. How may I be of assistance?
Oh, we're here about the contract from House Orien.
Oh,
Looking for a couple of guards.
Greetings. Yes, we are looking for Clayton Ironfall.
Yes, of course. Lord Orien. She stands up and bows to Kliff and goes, yes, right this way. I will take you right to Engineer Ironfell's office. And
Most excellent.
she gets up in her little white blouse and pencil skirt and directs you through. Unlike the House Thrashed precinct that you were at, this place is very orderly. Everyone is in pristine attire, working constantly, readjusting messages and stuff that get put into House Civis seals to get presumably sent to other locales, sending couriers out, etc. And she leads you down the hall, and there is a big frosted glass windowed oak door set that has, Chief Engineer Clayton Ironfell written on the door in gold writing. She goes, the Chief Engineer is aware of your presence. Please feel free to enter.
Go in without knocking.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry, what were you saying, Paige?
No, she was just thinking.
Okay.
Thank you.
As Kliff enters without knocking, you see that there are also the clocks here. All the stacks of papers are in very neat little piles that are getting pushed into, like, there is an ingoing, outgoing, that basically once papers appear magically in the ingoing, they get moved over to outgoing, they magically disappear. And there is a vast board showing diagrams and schedules and stuff on it. And there is a dwarven man with an immaculately groomed brown beard with braids in it and House Orien insigniae with a pair of spectacles. And he is wearing a vested three-piece suit as he looks up at you and looks at one of the clocks on the wall and goes, "Well, it's about time you arrived."
The Orien always arrives precisely when they mean to. Now, we are here about the job. You have something you want protected on one of my family's trains, is that correct?
Yes, Lord Orien, I appreciate your right to the point, even if you are 3.5 seconds tardy. but such things are to be understood from the more rambunctious youth in House Orien.
I suppose so.
These-
I am quite mischievous, but as I have my companions here, they will be assisting.
Yes, I've read the dossiers on each of your associates. They should serve to be suitable to the task.
Can you tell us more about it?
Yes, the proposition is you will be required for the next 2 weeks to be guarding trains on the Greywall Ardev rail line.
What do I know on the map where that is?
Ardev is the last major city in Brayland before you cross the border into Drone. So,
Okay.
you guys rode through Ardev, and that's where you guys all met up with each other, was at the Ardev rail line.
It's a country crossing rail. Got it.
Yeah, basically. There was-
Any reason why it's those lines in particular? Should we be looking out for anything in particular?
Yes, there have been some security risks that have been assailing our trains on that particular path. And it requires us outsourcing to more experienced resources to manage it. I can provide you additional information upon you accepting the contract.
I do
I
not
think-
see why we would turn it down. After all, it is my family's trains that are on the line.
And we're always willing to help out a friend, so yeah, I believe it's a mutual consensus that we'd all like to help out.
Quite well, I at least can tell you that you will be paid 200 gold upon the completion of this. You will receive 100 gold. Oh, I'm sorry, I have to actually read the term that I did it. Yes. You will receive 100 gold upfront upon acceptance of the contract, and then an additional 100 upon the completion of your final week of guard duty. And then he'll snap his fingers, and more magical contracts appear in front of you guys. With all the classic boilerplate, the equal opportunity employing language, the humanoids rights office, etc. Humanoid resources office.
Time to read the whole thing.
It's
Kliff just goes ahead and signs it.
yeah, it's basically the same contract in overall boilerplate as the House Thrash one. It's probably a form contract that the United Houses Directorate uses, but it does have the additional parameters of talking about your different payment and your different set of responsibilities and stuff. But it is functionally the same. Basically, you do the job, you get paid, you get injured, that's not their problem.
Right. She's gonna reiterate that all to Sess.
Just nodding, following along as best as she can. Listen, I don't know. It takes the group aside. I don't know if like haggling's a thing, but last time we got paid to find some kids for about the same cost. This time we
We got
defended
paid
stuff
100
on a
for that
truck.
job.
We got paid 100 or 200 at the end of
200.
that. 200, yeah.
Well, one,
I
we
don't know
get
if-
paid up front, and two, we get to ride around in my family's excellent transportation.
It is nice, but we're on guard duty, so we shouldn't be enjoying it. No, it's a job now. It ain't a luxury.
True. But then we also get free wine before bed.
I don't think it's in our best interest to be intoxicated.
I don't think I need any more wine anymore. At least for a while.
We have assessed the value of your lives in the performance of this responsibility, and that is for 200 gold, a sizable amount of money to anyone. I am sure there are plenty of other mercenaries available, and I'm sure that Lord D'Orien's family would be pleased to hear about how they and their particular friends have decided to shirk their responsibilities.
I was just wondering, all this paper tacos over my head, so I try to focus on what I can. I was just a little curious as I not trying to
Cess,
step
you
above
always
my
talk
place.
about family. Are you really trying to shirk responsibilities that my family is trying to bestow upon you?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't jump off a cliff if Paige did. I mean, I'm sure she's got magic for that, but I don't. But I was just wondering, that's all. I'm not questioning your family. I'm just wondering, like, is that the standard pay rate for contracts?
No, as you become more valuable and perform more valuable services, then you will receive more compensation. However, at your current level of skill and worth, this is what has been deemed appropriate.
We will
Gotcha.
accept it.
Gotcha, big man. Just wanted to make sure.
He narrows his eyes behind his spectacles at you at the comment of big man, considering he's a dwarf.
What? Just a fun. So you call boss, That wasn't said sarcastically. It wasn't said demeaningly. I'm just.
Now, if you
saying.
will, please sign the contracts or get out.
I've already signed mine.
Yeah, I know you have already signed it.
Jubilee silently signs hers.
Okay,
Yep, Paige will go ahead and sign hers as well.
okay,
So we'll says.
okay. With that, you get the shiver down your spine of the Gias as the contracts will teleport away. He goes, all right. Now that you have been employed by House Orien, I can give you more information. The trains that have been going between Ardev and Greywall have been having some anomalies recently. Apparently, one train upon every so many weeks leaves Ardev fully staffed, fully crewed, and fully occupied, but arrives in Greywall empty of all of its passengers, peoples, and operators, leaving all of their belongings still on the train.
Well, this just can't be accepted.
Indeed.
And we're assuming that everything was checked along the tracks and the train and stuff.
Indeed, we've done arcanoforensics of the train, and we cannot detect any particular anomalies. Doesn't appear to be any blood stains, nor signs of struggle. It is as if they simply disappeared. And this is, of course, very problematic for our establishment. If it is known that people are disappearing on our trains, then it will be a source of incredible concern.
Quite. And we will put a stop to it. We will not have any bad rumors ruining the reputation of the Orient family and the grand business of traveling trains.
Indeed. We hired initial guards for these, but they proved inadequate for the task. Accordingly, we have decided to escalate the situation higher up.
What happened? What happened to the previous guards?
If they were on one of the trains that the incident would occur on, they would also subsequently not be there, obviously.
We won't know until we ride there.
Right. How long is the train ride from one point to the other?
It's only a few hours between Ardev and Greywall, so you will be riding the train many, many times a day for the next 2 weeks.
Sounds fair.
Yes.
There will be... You will not be operating alone. I've contracted other mercenaries as well, other agents of the Directorate. They will be doing shifts with you so that you do not have to operate the trains 24 hours, of course.
Ah, see? I told you. We can have our wine too.
What you do when you are not on duty is none of my prerogative. However, while you are serving the house, I expect you to be performing your duties with exemplary capabilities.
I always perform for my house.
Indeed. Now, if the train rides end in Ardev, of course, you can stay at the Gold Dragon Inn there. I've been informed you do have a residence here in Greywall, so the house will not be compensating you to stay at your own home. But you will be provided for in Ardev when the time occurs.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate that.
Excellent. You start the day shift. Starting now, I shall escort you to the train.
Please do.
And he gets out behind his desk and leads the way outside of the admin office. He's got a little cane with a little House Orien unicorn as the head of it that he walks with. And when you arrive at the lightning rail proper, you notice that there are 4 other people standing there. These will be assisting you during your day shift. I hope that you make good occasion with them, as you will be having a significant amount of exposure to them. And before you, you see there are 4 figures. One of them is a human male wearing armor with swords and a silver flame insignia on him. The next is a blue dragonborn wearing robes holding a staff, followed by a Kalishtari wearing some light armor with a symbol of the sovereign host, and finally a rat shifter wearing some leather armor with a bunch of knives strapped on his chest.
Sewer King?
Sewer King is you.
No,
His
that's
name-
Frederick.
The irony is his name is actually Roman.
Oh my
Totally
God.
Coincidentally, totally, because I wrote
Nice.
this long ago. But the human will approach you guys with his party behind him, and he'll walk up and he'll. Oh, pleasure to meet you, Sir. Sorry, one moment, Sir Talon Muldoon, local Templar of the Silver Flame. This is my plucky group of adventurers.
Lovely to meet you, Muldoon. I am Kliff de Oren, and I'll be working alongside you on another shift.
Yeah, we'll give you a nice firm handshake, and the dwarf will look up at you all and go, "Excellent! The next train will be leaving in 5 minutes." And then he just walks away. Well, he's not much for words or introductions, but it's great to meet you all. Like I said, I'm Talon. He's Drakkar, pointing to the Dragonborn. She's Sorashana, and then that guy over there, whenever you get to see him, he goes by Agrippa.
Oh, well, it's certainly nice to meet you all. My name is Paige, and I'll have the honor of. I mean, everyone else wants to introduce themselves. If they want to.
I don't mean to make it sound like an interrogation or anything. We're going to be working together for a while, so if you feel like, introducing yourselves later, that's totally fine.
Yeah, sorry, kind of just taking it all in again. There's a lot of us here. I'm starting to have us sitting near each other, so we'll at least be able to talk in more comfortable circumstances, yeah?
Yeah, it's a big train, I presume. Well, with that, we should probably all get aboard, as you hear the train whistle happen, signaling that it's going to be taking off soon.
Well,
Yes. Onto
we
the
don't
railway.
want to be 3.4 seconds late, so let's go.
Oh, 3.4. He said we were 5.6.
I'll take that as a win then.
All right. So with that, you guys board the train. And you will feel that same static electrical charge all over your persons as the train activates, and that humming sound that it makes from the lightning crackling below the train and arcing through the train itself. And yeah, it's got some people on it. It's got some monsters on it in the form of presumably mercenaries leaving Drome to go elsewhere. And yeah, your wonderful trip aboard a House Orien lightning rail begins once more. So you guys have the day shift, which will be a 8-hour shift. Or I guess this would be a 12-hour shift because you have to split it. So it'd be a 12-hour shift, but it's overall you're on a train. Just be on a train.
Chilling.
Hey, yo, let's go! New mission!
Yeah. And so yeah, with that, you guys can talk to each other. You can talk to your co-mercenaries as much as you desire. Otherwise, the first week can go by uneventfully.
I think Jubilee would want to size up the other 4. Being on guard duty, you want to, keep your comrades as close as your enemies, so to speak. So she's gonna want to spend some time with them, just not even to talk, just to size them up and try to get what their abilities are.
Yeah, you do a vibe check on them.
Yeah, a little vibe check.
Yeah, Talon obviously seems to be some kind of melee combatant kind of fella. He's a Templar of the Silver Flame. You all know that Templar doesn't mean paladin in the Church of the Silver Flame. Templar just means basically a militant order, because you can be a Templar, be a wizard, a cleric, a rogue, whatever. It's just that fact that you're in the active military service of the Silver Flame. And then so he's got a pair of swords. He's got a long sword and a short sword. The Drakkar seems to be some kind of arcane spellcaster. You see him, mutter arcane words and do various magic checks on stuff. Then Sorashana seems to be the healer of the team. She is a priestess of the Sovereign Host. And then Agrippa is apparently some kind of rogue-like fella. He's always very, eyes constantly darting around, and he's always kind of fiddling with something with his hands as he moves around. So, that's the vibe check.
Alrighty.
Whenever you come into contact, Talon seems to be very personable. He's always happy to talk and stuff, and just seems to be...
Oh, man.
There are a lot of names I gotta commit to memory obs, my brain.
Yulia.
Also himbo.
Her himbo dar is going off.
His introduction, I was like, himbo? What?
Himbo? But yeah, he's always just very charming, very, very laid back and stuff. Drakkar doesn't really talk very much. He seems to be very introspective. Sorashana is one of those people that only talks when you really talk to her. Otherwise, she's always kind of looking off into space or doing something else, which is pretty common with Kalishtar, because they literally have the spirit of a dream entity in their heads, basically, that shares their psyche. And then Agrippa is he's actually very talkative once you start getting him going. He's just very crude by comparison to Talon.
During the first week, Kliff seems to be thinking a lot, pondering to themselves, sometimes even muttering thoughts aloud. Some of you may hear, what would they want? But during the rest of the time, they are trying to be as charming as possible and put on a good face for a good show of the Orien family. Not just to the passengers of the train, but also to the other guards that have been hired for this job. Constantly smoozing with them, asking about them and their lives, but also leaving in plenty of stories about how great the Orien family is.
You do notice that Agrippa has a Sharn accent when he talks.
Oh,
So
My people.
yeah,
the people.
He's like, hey, how you guys doing? You know, you want to go around? How y'all doing? My name's Agrippa. It's a pleasure to meet ya.
Oh, from Sharn? Apologies if the accent is incorrect, but
Oh, yeah, I'm from the fucking lower towers down in Shan. You know, it's a good time. I made my way out of there, finally got employment, gainful employment, you see. Finally these, you put a few daggers in a few people's backs and fingers in a couple purses, and look at you, finally, you're gainfully employed. People pay you to do it. You love to see it.
You sure you weren't unemployed in the lower districts? Sounds like you'd be right up some people's alleys, you know?
Well, I
Some
definitely found
LD,
myself
you
in
know?
a few alleys.
Oh, okay, I get you.
Yo, you from the towers?
We're from the towers. My sister here goes to... We're from the lower district, but my sister goes to Mulgrave Uni, so...
Oh, shit, we got a fucking college girl. Fucking, I never thought anybody would leave lower district, go all the way up to the fucking college. You fucking love to see it.
So fucking loot.
I'm really happy to be there, yes.
Congratulations, always happy.
and he kind of pats you on the back and laughs.
Yeah.
Oh my,
Bless you, Obs.
she's like embarrassingly, like doing the little like fidget thing, nervous fidget, where she cleans her glasses.
Yo, you're from lower district. Do you ever happen to know fucking Tia Tanzarella?
Tia Tanzarella. Now, I feel like I've heard of a Tia before. She, You're gonna have to give me a few hints here. It's a kind of a...
Ah, you fucking would know Tia Tanzarella. You know, she's one of those community types. What is her? She's
Poultry? She poultry?
Oh yeah, fucking straightforward.
Yeah, bold. Yeah, I know. I have these big head at the community lunches.
Oh yeah, you know
Big
she
head.
loves fucking going to those things.
Absolutely fucking goes to town making sure every homeless mouth is fed.
Yeah.
Out of character. So what the fuck? I love it. I cannot.
He's a rap shifter.
I love him!
But yeah, so he is always happy to shoot the shit with you guys, especially talking about stuff in the lower district. He left the district a couple years ago to join up with Talen's crew, but he's always happy to talk about LD and the lower district. LD gave him his start in life.
LD gang!
LD baby. You'll find out who he is one day, maybe. I don't know. I didn't write this campaign.
Jubilee, how about you?
Yeah, I think during this first week, she is 110% business.
Okay.
So back into full guard mode, not talking, just observing, like very much 110% into her work.
Gotcha. Talen will always, if he sees you when going through like the train, he'll always kind of chat you up a bit and kind of shoot the shit. Even if you're being professional, he'll just keep talking. And but he seems to be like he's ex Thrain military, so he seems to also be pretty good at what he does. But that comes with inexperience that kind of goes with a bit more of a casual attitude for this because it's so second nature to him. But Yeah, so aside from that, he will always be happy. He's very charming to Kliff and to Paige. He's always happy to give a smile and say, check in on you, get you a glass of water kind of thing if he sees you.
Oh no, he's a fool! Ah!
But is there anything in particular you'd like to do in the week aside from just idle chit chat with the other party? The first week, if you don't do anything else, it will go by uneventfully. You basically ride a train for hours and hours per day. You either end in Ardev or in Greywall, and you rest, and then you pick up the next day as another set of mercenaries takes over the night shift.
Okay. And during this ride is where the disappearance were occurring, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Could I at least at one point try to do like a detect magic as we're like going by to see if I could have maybe picked something out at least close to the train?
Sure.
Or
Make an Arcana check with that.
Sure. An 18.
Okay. Obviously, this place is very saturated with magic, which makes it hard to distinguish things that aren't the train and the rail line being powered. But you do notice the rail line has a secondary type of magic that seems to be intertwined with it, aside from just the standard elemental plates in the ground that go towards making the train move. So from what you're gathering, it appears to be planar energy. You just can't put your finger on it because there's so much ambient elemental radiation around it from the rail line itself.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else?
Okay,
You go ahead. You go
No,
ahead.
you go ahead. You go ahead. You're the professional here. You're the professional here. You go out there. I'll wait.
I think particularly Jubilee would be looking for shifty behaviors, not necessarily suspicious looking persons, but the actual like physiological behaviors of people. People always looking over their shoulders or carrying like weird packages, things like that.
Agrippa looks at you a couple times and goes, "Why are you fucking looking at me like that?"
I'm walking here.
I'm walking here.
Goddamn business over here.
You got a fucking warrant?
Yes, in fact, I do.
Jubilee
Yikes!
uses detect thief.
But yeah, no. Overall, like people, it's much like the same cast of characters each day. There's various merchants and couriers and stuff coming from Ardev, and then some monsters coming from Ardev. Probably when you check them out, they seem to be returning from deployments via various employments they did. Then when people are leaving Greywall, it's usually the same people, but going to get more supply. You've actually begun to detect some of the same people you see each day of the train. As like, oh yeah, these are some of the merchants. They're going back to Ardev to go get their stuff. They come back. You go check the manifests of all the things that get logged in for the train, and it's a lot of the same stuff. It's there's like some minor shiftiness, but that seems to be like almost like an acceptable level of shifty. Like a merchant maybe has an extra 0.75 kilos of one of their wares that they didn't write down. But when you check it, it just appears to be innocuous supplies and services.
Gotcha.
All right, and Cess?
So I don't want to keep things going on for too long today. Basic things that Says will do for the first week is work alongside Jubilee, make sure that she's doing a job. It's her first time doing like bodyguard work. She wants to learn, pad her resume, hang out with the other party members, talk to them, etc. Says keeps an extra close eye on Kliff and badgers the shit out of him if he's like acting immature and like not being responsible or taking care of himself, like no wine after 8 o'clock, or you are eating your vegetables, young man. In as annoying as a fashion as she can be, and actively encourages the other mercenaries to be like, hey, listen, he's a little immature, but he told me to help him with that. So if you see him, give him a little pat on the back, a little hard pat on the back.
I'll be sure to give him plenty of support.
They refuse to eat every vegetable. They will only
It's
eat
going in your
sweets,
fucking mouth.
and they will use every illusion and magic they have at their disposal to avoid the vegetables.
But yeah, so that proceeds for a week's worth of time. It almost becomes your routine for everybody but Jubilee, because Jubilee is experienced enough at this to try and override the urge to make things too routine and start getting lax. And after your first week, you get switched to night shifts. And as you get on the train, the next time to start your new set of night shifts, well, this next train ride's going to be a little more interesting. I think that's where we'll end here for today.
Man,
I'm excited for new quests.
I am so excited for this. I am just not showing it right
fucking
now
dead, are
because
you
I'm
okay?
tired.
Big sleepy Litro.
Big sleepy.
I am sleepy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
I gotta
it's
be
okay.
up in like 7 hours.
It's okay. We're wrapping up. I hope everybody had fun tonight with some slice of life anime. Now they are getting actually in their employment. This could be the easiest quest I ever gave them. 200 gold for just some idle time on a train. Well, that sounds like a great adventure to me as a DM. Surely nothing untoward will happen.
No, definitely not.
that is even more concerning.
Yeah, why else would they need to have 4 other mercenaries to help them?
Oh
Please,
no!
on one of my family's trains, nothing can go wrong.
Yeah. So thank you all for coming by. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed the session. I will be posting it up on YouTube later in the week. If you haven't done so already, you could do !D&D to take you to our YouTube channel where I post up all the episodes. I also post them up on my my main YouTube just to cover all my bases. But be sure to keep up to date with Ashes of the Last War. We will be back here next Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, assuming nothing crazy happens. If you haven't done so already, please give me a follow here on Twitch, give me a sub over on YouTube, give me a follow on Twitter, and you can join my Discord, the Eternal Citadel, and be a part of my incredible community, and get all of the Ashes of the Last War updates. Additionally, be sure to check out all of these wonderful people here. They are all VTubers and streamers in their own right. So if you do ! Players, it goes to all of their links, so be sure to check them out. And in my other news, I'll be back here on Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern to play Death's Door. So we're going to be a burb. So I can't wait to see you all there. With that being said, I think let's go get us a raid. Raid. I see that Aradia is doing their first
Affiliate stream!
Yeah, their first affiliate stream. So we're going to raid Aradia. They are awesome. They're an awesome possum mom. A great person. They also did the art of Pinup Obsidia, which is amazing.
Yeah, they were my DM before too.
Yes, and they were the DM of none other than Yulia for her first streamed D&D game of Curse of Strahd. So her chat is follower or subscriber only, so just be aware of that going into that, but I still want to send her lots of love. So if you are a follower, please copy down the call to hugs. If you're a sub, please copy down the Knight's message, and let's get this party on the road.
In other words, Aurelia was the former D&D drug dealer for Yulia, and then I stepped in, and I'm like, all right, no more free handouts. Are you ready for some drama?
Get your fix, bro.
Yeah, right hard mode.
All right, let's go send her some love. Wish her a good affiliate stream, and here we go. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.